If you've used a garden hose before, you've interacted with GHT or garden hose thread. It's a super simple connection and thread, but we still thought it made sense to make a video kind of explaining what it is and helping you solve some of those common issues you might run into when using it. So what is GHT? Well, like I said, it's the thread that's used on garden hose. It's a 3/4 inch thread, and it uses an internal O-ring to form a seal. Basically, when you screw on the male end into the female end, it will press up against that O-ring and cause a seal. Now, this type of connection is super useful for things like garden hoses, where you're taking them off and putting them back on a lot, and you don't have the time or the energy to mess around with Teflon tape. That being said, there are a few issues you can run into when dealing with garden hose thread, specifically relating to leaking. The first issue is that you're just not getting a good enough seal. When you're screwing the male end into the female end, you can see that O-ring in there. The flat portion needs to press up fully onto the O-ring in order to form that seal. If it's not tight enough, it will not form that seal, and water can get out through the edges and spray back out the side. Likewise, if it's too tight, you can actually warp that O-ring, and then it'll still let a little channel of water get out of the fitting and spray out of these edges. The second most common issue we see is that the O-ring inside of it has went bad or went missing. Now, these are just standard rubber O-rings, so over time, especially if you have hard water, they will get bad, they will dry out, they will fail. And also, if you're spraying out of this fitting with no plug or anything on it, the O-ring can actually pop out and just blatantly get lost. The good news is that these are super cheap, and you can get them on our website or really at any big box hardware store. Hopefully this video was helpful, whether you were already having an issue or maybe you just wanted to know a little bit about garden hose fittings. We sell pretty much everything relating to garden hoses in our store, including the consumables, the hoses themselves, pressure washing things, all that kind of stuff. And as always, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments or reach out to support@Obsessed Garage.